So today I'm going to show you how to season your wok. Bearing in mind this is my first experience, I'm going to talk you through the process. Yes, if this is your first time, you're welcome. Let's start. Hello again and welcome to Ndudu by Fafa. So in my sense of adventure and in the mood for shopping, because I do shop for utensils more than I shop for anything else, I chanced upon this carbon steel wok. I was like, oh, I like the traditional look of it. So yes, let me get it. And then I researched a bit and it said I had to season it. I was like, oh, I've never done that before because I usually use my clay pots, but this seems intriguing. So when you receive your wok, you will notice it has this sort of glossy look, and this is a protective film to prevent the wok from rusting. So hence that's why one needs to season it. Now the way to go about it is to get a scourer, lukewarm water and soap, and you need to scrub that protective film away. Now that took about 5 minutes. Now at this point I did not want to film it, but then I was like, no, this is something I need to share with you guys, but you would miss that part. But of course I hope I have explained it clearly. And then on a high heat I've placed my wok on, and what I'm doing is literally seasoning it, or may I say burning it. So this is the first time I'll say I'm going to cook on a very high heat, because usually I'm always saying no, cook on a very low heat, but on this one we have to. I mean, then again, we're not cooking anything, we're seasoning it. Now right before your eyes you will notice that it would turn black and gray and brownish, but you have to be patient with it. The first process took about 30 to 45 minutes for me to cover the entire bottom and also the sides for it to turn into the color that it should in a way. Yes, so it's a first experience and I was just intrigued. I was like, now I have to share this with you guys. Now bear in mind, this is a round bottom wok. Now if you do have an electric stove, it's best to get the flat base one, because if not you won't be able to do this. Secondly, if you're going to be doing this, you need to do it in a well ventilated area. So open all your windows, your doors. If you've got an extractor fan, get the extractor fan going. Better still, if you do it outside, it's best, absolutely, because then yes, you're cool there. But in that event that you don't have anything that you can cook with outside, then yes, you can definitely make sure that your room is well ventilated. So you can just tell that right before your eyes it just looks like almost grayish, and this is the first part of it. Now what this seasoning process is actually creating a coating oil from the bottom part or the entire insides of the wok. It's creating almost a non-stick layer there. Exactly. So it might look like, oh my god, I've got this beautiful silvery carbon steel thing, and now I'm burning it and it's just looking ugly. No. Now, this is why I actually made an error, because most of the instructions said that you should use less oil. And at this point, I did, and I was like, oh gosh, it looks like the oil is too much. So I have used my kitchen paper towel to, absorb the excess oil. At this point. Now bearing in mind this is still on a high heat, so please do take all necessary precautions when you're dealing with anything hot. Absolutely. So that looks good, and at this point it became smoky. Now this smokiness will infuse into the wok. Absolutely, and it maintains that. It's so incredible to do that. So now this is the second phase. Of course, the first one I did and then added the oil, and I've just cleaned it. And the second phase, once you add the oil, you will just notice that it's just becoming darker and darker. Now at this point I've used my tongue and my kitchen towel, as you can tell here, paper towel. But then again, I mean, if I think about it, that was kind of a bit risky. I should have just used like a normal, cloth, I guess. But I turned the heat to its lowest setting and I wiped it, and now I'm going to do the third seasoning again. Yes. So you can see that it's now becoming darker. The coating is forming. But yes, I've not got there yet. Now, when I did the research as well, I've seen that a few people have actually, stir fried some herbs and stuff in there, like vegetables, like old vegetables, so that the flavor increases. I guess it's you were flavoring the pot, you're seasoning it, as it says. So I had some onion peels there, and I was like, yes, I'm just going to be adding that to it. So this is almost like the third process, I think. Yes. And it's so interesting because once I did stir fry that, I added a bit of rosemary, which I found in the garden. The process was just darkening quickly. So I was like, oh, okay, I'm liking this. And yeah, it was smoky, but it had this beautiful aromatic smell because I've added the rosemary, and it's almost burnt. So you can just tell how hot this is and how dark the wok is getting. It's getting there, isn't it? So now I've turned the heat off and I've discarded the vegetables. Of course, they're burnt, and I'm just using my paper towel and just getting rid of the residue, because now I'll be going through my fourth process. Yes. I mean, under normal circumstances, for most of the videos that I've watched or some of the research that I've done, they do stop at this point because they do say after a few months of using your wok, it seasons further. But I was like, nah, I just want to get to that point, because if I've already spent the time doing it, I might as well just go all out. And you also need to do the same thing to the bottom part. So I've got a bit of the oil, and I'm just using my normal sunflower oil for this. Definitely. You can use your groundnut oil. Coconut oil, some people do use, which is not too bad. But definitely not olive oil or sesame oil. No, they don't have that higher heating point. So yeah, but it's looking glossy, and you can just tell that yes, it's working. So the first error I made was add too much oil, but I sort of rectified it. But at this point, I'm like, yeah, okay, this is it's quite laborious, but you can just tell now that the bottom is turning gray again, and it's just going to be darker. This, I think, I had spent now about an hour and 15 minutes into seasoning the wok. So it does require a lot of patience. I've seen one where one has taken the wooden handle off, and then they've placed it in a barbecue outside. And yeah, that seems like cool. And I can see that one can actually place that in the oven as well and do the same. So yes, there are ways that this can be done. But of course, if you're going to be doing that, then you need to make sure that if there's any wooden part of your wok, you take that part off. Yes. But me, I'm just doing it on an open fire, as you can tell. And I need the sides as well to go through that process, because when you're stir frying the vegetables and everything, it goes up and down. And I love this, and the beauty about the wok is it maintains an even heat all the way through. So it means that when you cook your vegetables or you stir fry your vegetables, they're nice and they're crunchy and just perfect. So now I understand why when you have your takeaways, you just go like, oh, yums. They are so different to when you use your normal stainless steel wok. Yes, this is definitely a must try. Now this came under £50 with Amazon, and as I said, I'll leave a link in the description box below. So if you're definitely interested in getting yourself a traditional wok, yes, why not? You must do so. So yeah, I'm just doing the sides, and as I said, it's painstakingly getting there. But can you just see how beautiful and glossy this looks, and it's even. Now at this point I was a bit worried. I was like, oh, even though I'm doing this protective film or layer to the wok, would it actually come off if I'm cooking? So yes, you need to watch this to the end, because once I finished doing this, I did attempt to stir fry my carrot in there just to see what it does. But it looks like it's getting there. This is something that is a first experience for me, and I'm so happy I've done it, because this is going to last me a lifetime. Yes, it's worth the investment, absolutely, so that when I cook my vegetables or do my stir fries, it will be jack. Now, if this is your first time, you're welcome. Definitely, please don't forget to click the subscribe button whilst you're here, and the notification button, which means each time that I do upload a video, you, my dearest, are notified of it, and you do not miss a thing. And to my loyal subscribers, thank you ever so much for your constant support, and I love you for you. And to my commentators, those who leave me lovely comments and encouraging comments and caring and kind words, I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm sending lots of love and light your way. Yes. So, of course, as I mentioned, I just attempted to do the stir fry my carrot once I got the WOK season as much as I could, because yes, if I'm not careful, I'll end up being it till next year. And it's looking good so far. Look at that. And it's having this sort of smoky sort of coating to it, but that's just coming from the heat, and it's just coming from it to like burning, because of course carrot has the sugars in there. I've added a little bit of oil, and I think I've just cracked it. For a first experience, it's not too bad. Would I encourage you to do it? Absolutely. And guess what? Naturally, I'm going to be coming up with recipes that I'll be using in my WOK. If you have followed me on Instagram, I have shown a few videos, yes, of what I've made out of my WOK. Yes. And so, yeah, I knew I had to put this video out today so that for the rest of the recipes, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So here we have the pièce de résistance. That looks beautiful. Now, the thing is, after you finish cooking, all you need to do is, please do not wash it with soap and water. No, 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 big no, no. You just add a little bit of oil, and you just follow this process, and just use your kitchen towel or cloth and just wipe it down. That is how you take care of it. And then just allow the heat to heat through, and it kills any bacteria that is there anyway, because that's a very high heat. Now, you will find more interesting recipes on my blog, ndudubyfafa.blogspot.com, so do check it out. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter as Ndudu by Fafa, so pass by and say hi. Noel, thank you very much for my theme song. And to my kings and queens, I love you for you. I know everyone is going through their own transitional period, but hang in there, believe in yourself, be self-assured. You're more than capable. The universe would only give you something that you can deal with. Yes. And guess what? I love you for you. Thank you for watching. Now leave your comments below and tell me, would you try this? Yes? Okay. I'll see you in my next video. Lots of love.